And if we say we have a vice president, yeah, that is acting, who is handed power over to, we can see what is playing out, that the vice president is really not in charge. Okay, I don't want to go into that, but from a very peaceful, we were even joking with the police people, because as far as I'm concerned, I used to think till today, police is my friend. Okay? And I built a personal friendship with, the top-notch police people, from the headquarters to the states. I know these people. We have a one-on-one. But what happened today was, I just couldn't explain it. Now, we had told people that we were going to have a sit-out, and that sit-out is
at the fountain, at the Unity Fountain.
Unity Fountain. That is a public place, yeah, for people to come, relax, or do their picnic or whatsoever. So on arriving there at about 9 o'clock, we saw a battalion of police people. Okay,
they were actually there before you.
They were there before. I don't know what time they came, but we arrived at 9, and they were already on ground. First of all, there was the issue that we should not park our cars, because everybody parks their cars in Unity Fountain. But they said, no, we shouldn't park our cars there. We now went and parked our car, at the amusement park. Yeah. So, and we were less than 10 people who showed up today.
Those of you who showed up for the sit-out.
For the sit-out, because we had agreed yesterday that we were just going to have a few people. Let's keep talking to ourselves. Because this is, the people that showed up are young people that I mentor. Okay? I'm not the face of the campaign, but I am the ginger as the area father to encourage young people to get away from their docility. Because if this country will be saved, I expect that it will be saved by the exceptional youth of this country. Yeah? Not by the older generation. Because my generation, I'm a baby of the early 50s. My generation is responsible for the rot you see. Because we did not do what we ought to do to prepare to get a good environment that young people can express themselves. So somehow,
to that extent, your generation didn't take the appropriate step at the right time.
Precise. When they had the opportunity, they were scared because at that time it was the military. And that was when, during the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, we had the biggest brain drain. So the best amongst us left the shore. They went to look for greener pastures elsewhere. The few that were left, they were all hiding under the bed, not saying anything. And that is why
we created the problem.
We created this problem. So now, getting there now, at first, we were having, though they were aggressive, we were trying to calm them down. It's only 10 of us, so...
and you didn't come for trouble.
We didn't come for trouble. We had a successful one yesterday, so it's going to be like that. Their main concern was that yesterday's event had gone viral, that we're giving the country a bad name. How are we giving the country a bad name when we're just asking a normal question? No be, what's it called, McCain, who even had cancer, a senator in America. Everybody was on the news. Everybody knew what was wrong with him, but he still came to do his work. So why can't we just have information about our president? Now, their first grudge was that our news yesterday, our rally
went
viral. So, and they were not going to allow us to convene, even if we were 2 people, that we should go.
They insisted I should leave the fountain, the Unity Fountain.
Yes. So, of course, we stood our ground, and we just sat clustered together. There were about 8.
Where did you sit, on the floor or you?
Oh, yes,
on the floor,
on the grass.
On the ground, the grass there.
Yes. Then we now started singing Aluta songs. The next thing I knew, the police cars, they were moving away from us. Then we now saw dogs, about 20 of them. As the dogs were approaching, they let one loose. Of course, the one was, there was one press guy amongst us who the dog just jumped on. That's the one that is in the hospital now. The next thing we knew, the water cannon, they were pouring on us. Then they now proceeded to shoot the tear gas amongst us where we were sitting. We were dealing with the water. But when the tear gas came now, me, I don't hold small now. I just couldn't deal with that one. So I had to move. And as we were moving, they were shooting live bullets or whatever they were shooting and throwing at us more tear gas.
They couldn't have shot live bullets.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But
but nobody was injured anyway.
Nobody was injured. But you know the funny thing? When I looked into the eyes and the faces of the few policemen, like the ones that were handling the dogs, they had come before. They had been instructed to let the dog loose on us. But you can see, yeah, you can see that. And I was telling them, Shebi, this fight is for all of us. If you guys want to kill us here now, you can well do so. They say it's an instruction. No? We don't like what's happening, but it's an instruction. So when they went back again, there was another order. Set the dogs loose. And then they started.
But did they actually let the dog loose on you?
Yeah, they let one dog loose. So when we were trying to relocate to go to another place, one policeman, look at my eyes now, using the butt of his...
the butt of the gun.
Yeah, my own don't do too much. My own don't do too much. Till somebody had to call him to order, one of the officers.
Now, let's come to the issue that really, because some of these things, we have spoken with the policemen in the past over this, and the police also believe that there's a need to allow people to protest. I wouldn't know why they wouldn't really allow this to go on.
We were not protesting. We were just sitting down to discuss. We were not protesting. If they wanted to do this, they would have done it yesterday.
Yeah, and the presidency came up yesterday through Garba Shehu to say you have a right to protest if you want to protest. The only challenge is that the President Muhammadu Buhari complied with the provisions of the Constitution by letting the National Assembly know he's going, and he properly and dutifully handed over, and that there's no need for agitation and the need for protest. How do you respond to that?
Listen, what's killing us in this country, part of what's killing us is our hypocrisy. It's too much. There's a section in the law, I think 114, whatever, that says, yeah, if the president is that incapacitated, they will set up a legal
that is team. The executive.
Yeah? Help me out here.
Yeah.
Set up a medical team.
Yeah.
To ascertain.
The Federal Executive Council.
Yeah. Are you going to set up that medical team without telling? The president is not a private human being anymore. He's our president. He's answerable to us, for Christ's sake. And what is wrong with somebody? My father was sick now. I had to bring him to my house. My father died in my house. So if there's no evil, no all this, oh God, what is their fear? What is their fear, my brother? Anybody can fall sick. I can fall sick. So why can't they say, this is what is wrong with the president? No problem. He's handed over. But did he hand over properly? Or are there some people who are still winding the cord? Why can't the vice president do what he's supposed to do?
Do you blame Muhammadu Buhari for that?
I can't blame. Listen, for all you know, Muhammadu Buhari is a good man.
Yeah, our president
He's a good man. No, it's not our problem. Buhari is not our problem. It's the cabal. Those cabal, they know themselves.
Okay, let me come to Ononuju. Let us take it out now within the context of getting a new Nigeria. The South African Parliament will be voting on Thursday whether they still have confidence in Zuma. Even though it was raised by the opposition, the Parliament voted that it should be done in secret because they don't want anybody not to participate in it by either they have a structure there that throughout Tambo Becky. Another one, when wind is blowing, and people are already saying going for a president of South. There's a system that operates there that nobody really manipulates and toil. What is wrong with our system?
Our system is very different. South Africa is a nation. Nigeria is not a nation. Nigeria is a country made up of several ethnic nations, all of them competing for Nigeria on their own terms. As you saw, the APC won the national election, but the APC was not allowed to form government. As Charles rightly stated, President Buhari allowed a cabal to seize the structures of governance, and that cabal are the reasons the country is not moving. That cabal is responsible for the employment of nepotism as policy. That cabal are the same people why, despite President Buhari having written a proper letter to hand over to his vice president, the cabal are not allowing the vice president to act as president in lines with the spirit and letters of the Nigerian Constitution. This is why we think this is a fraud. That's why
I asked Mr. Charles Okuta that same question just now.
Yes.
Do you blame Muhammadu Buhari for this? We have an acting president who we have an acting president who is not just a lawyer.
Yes.
He is a senior advocate and a professor, a teacher. They had the highest level of law. Does he not know the powers that he has?
You don't blame the professor, you blame Muhammadu Buhari. Muhammadu Buhari was the person who, instead of allowing the APC that formed government, to one election to form government, he now built a cabal, shielded the APC away. It is that cabal that Muhammadu Buhari installed that are responsible for the crisis. So,
President Muhammadu Buhari, okay, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I want to share this with you guys. Before Buhari came in, I was opportune to have several meetings with Goodluck Jonathan. And he said something insightful in one of our meetings. Because we joke around.
After the election?
No. Way before the election. And he said to me, Charlie, as I did so, not me did so. I'm in a prison.
yes, that is the truth.
That was when I started to understand.
The intricacies of
Precise.
the office.
Even if you're president, you are reporting to some people. That there are some people you're answerable to.
This is the
That the buck does not stop on your table. Go.
Is that not a matter of conferring with people, dialoguing with people, consulting with people?
I know,
that the president does
as
not
a journalist,
Yes, I mean,
let's forget it.
It's a matter of
Let's
judgment.
forget it.
The quality of the people you choose around you.
Precise.
It is that judgment. Your judgment in surrounding yourself with persons will determine how those people will react.
Let's take it further. Let's begin from you, Onoloju. When we talk about restructuring, how should it affect political office? I mean, like the one we have found ourselves in now. We passed through this road before with Yaradua. We are back on it. When we are talking of restructuring, people have talked about restructuring, power devolution, true federalism, let us have a free state police, but within the context of the powers of a president, of a governor, how does restructuring play into it?
Well, if the institutions are proper, you can see what's happening right now in the United States. No matter what President Trump wants to do, because of the institutions of the state are strong, he really can't do a lot of those things.
Yes.
But when the government, the president, goes on to weaken the institutions of state, those around him become stronger than the institutions of state. That's why, despite what the people around President Trump try to do, the fundamental strength of the institutions of states that run the U.S. government are there.
But
you can't do nothing to the Justice Department. You can't do nothing to the Special Prosecutor.
Yes.
You really can't do nothing to the FBI. They are supposed to be autonomous. You understand this? But if that's what we did as a political party, the PDP over a space of 16 years, don't forget, everything was command controlled by whoever was head of state under the dictatorship. But over 16 years, the PDP was able to democratize the economy, and that's why you saw we now transferred the running of enterprises from the hands of the state to private people. Okay. That was why you saw over 128 different enterprises were privatized into private hands. That's what we now have also sought to come to the part two, to now democratize the political superstructure of Nigeria, which is what people are referring to as restructuring. We do not need the thing to stay the way the soldiers designed it. The soldiers designed it to be a unitary system where power will be in one hand. In this case, top, yeah. Exactly. As you can see, power right now under President Buhari is in the hands of the cabal. And we say no, devolve the powers to stay. The powers over agriculture, let it go to the state. The power over a lot of things should go to the federal units. And that's what we've looked at now. We set that purpose by convening the national conference. Everything in the conference, if it is implemented, you will see power devolve.
Okay. Let me just also take from Mr. Oputa, Charly-Boy, his own experience and your thinking about what ought to be with the structure at the level of the presidency. What a president guided by the institutions. Unfortunately, we don't have the strong institutions. What do you envisage to be the kind of the Nigerian you want, having a president that has an office that respects the people because the power flow from them? Yes. What manner of presidency do you envisage?
You've said it all now. We need leadership that is sensitive to the people that is ruling. Look at the kind of poverty. Look at the kind of hopelessness. Look at the kind of frustration. Where are we going to go with all of this? Now, only one person could steal billions and billions and billions. What is he or she going to do with it? The money that 3 generations cannot finish spending. Doesn't that tell you that something is wrong? How can you, in the midst of poverty, only you one go build your mansion, and you're surrounded by hunger, poverty, and you think you'll be comfortable?
But the law says, if I will get it correctly,
but they're always making laws that is of benefit.
Yeah, that is what I wanted to say.
They're always breaking it with impunity.
Let us look at the one that you also quickly touched on now. But let me directly put it out. Look at the oil block allocation in Nigeria. It is the president and his team that decides to allocate oil blocks.
Is that fair?
If you look at the ministers that have benefited, all the oil things we have been hearing about, this bribery scandal that have been on, is the man that sits down to what manner of man should occupy that position? Because it's like in Nigeria, because there are no
see, that's the essence of the restructuring. If you do restructuring, the oil that is in Port Harcourt should be looked after by the River State government. River State government will do that. Whoever they do it with, they will pay tax to the federation account. The government will take from that tax and do the sharing it wants to share to whoever it is. If that happens, the government will put into prison a man who didn't pay tax before you jail an armed robber. So that way we will now have a society run on taxes. Anything you see in Edo should be by the Edo State government. Anything you see in Asaba, in Warri, should be by the Delta State government. What do that make? Abuja will be emptied. People will go to those areas and then Abuja will be free. The president will only look after Ministry of Defense, Immigration,
Foreign Affairs,
External Affairs, and then tax, which of course you called it the Federal Inland Revenue Service. These are the ways we are saying. The part 2 we seek right now, you know, today the PDP is inaugurating its body. As I'm talking to you, the APC has not been able to have a single neck meeting since they came. Okay. So it was a simple omnibus.
Now there's a particular thing that the acting president sees wrong with the agitation. He sees hate speeches and the manner in which people have carried it on, through religion in, through ethnicity in, call people names, issue ultimatum. The acting president says it will not solve the problem. Let us hear him out in this clip we have of him.
turning Nigeria's ethnic and religious diversity into a positive force for national development is the focus of this summit. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo leads discussion on why citizens must shun persons described as agents of division who have resorted to using hate speeches as their tool.
That we must ensure that there is respect for each other. We must respect each other. We must respect the views of each other. In conversation, in interactions, we must show respect for each other. We must respect each other's religions. We must respect each other's views. The language of interaction, the language of exchange must be civil. We must not permit a situation where people talk anyhow. Whether they are leaders or elders, we must not tolerate a situation where people are allowed to speak in any manner that they desire.
Then comes former head of state Yakubu Gowon. Gowon speaks with a depth of an elder statesman who has seen it all. He tells the audience to look beyond idle wishes and face reality, because Nigeria will not survive another civil war.
To all of you, the youth, please, for God's sake, don't allow the situation that happened, that we have to fight one another years ago. And how many lives have we lost? What blood have we shed for this country to remain one? So for God's sake, do not entertain anything that will really bring about again the suffering of innocent people because of your unnecessary demands.
For the Director General of the State Security Service, Lawal Daura, the days of grace are over. The Security Service DG threatens to bring down the full weight of the law on anyone trying to further heat up the polity.
That all groups or individuals who are bent on pursuing their divisive and separative activities that tend to threaten national security to think again. The security sector views the unity of this nation as a sacred trust, and this task we will do our utmost to meet.
The summit was put together by the Department of State Services.
Thank you, sir. So how was the meeting?
What was the outcome of the meeting?
Fantastic. It was very well. Meeting was excellent. We met with Mr. Acting President, and in his presentation he was very honest, truthful, forthright, and we're very, very satisfied.
So no more ultimatum?
Pardon?
No more ultimatum?
There's no ultimatum. None. None. We agreed on many things, and that we came in with our own address, we presented it, the ministers all spoke, presented their cases, and at the end, Mr. Acting President rounded it up, and we saw his genuineness, truthfulness, forthrightness. He's a gentleman, and we support him. We are satisfied. No more November 1st. I don't call it ultimatum. We said we will withdraw. We are satisfied. So I'm not using the word ultimatum. We have agreed to work together, and the issue of dialogue will also take place. So there's nothing wrong about it.
So, sir, what's the message you're sending back home?
The message back home is that we had the opportunity to meet Mr. Acting President, and we discussed various things, our 16-point agenda, and the government 20-point agenda, and we are all satisfied. And the message home that everybody should maintain peace.
Why are Niger Delta leaders not speaking in one voice?
Pardon?
Why are Niger Delta leaders not speaking in one voice?
Who are the other Niger Delta? We are speaking with one voice. We are speaking with one voice. Who said we are not speaking with one voice?
That has dissociated itself from your group.
Well, the man is here. Mendy was in the meeting. Jomo Bomo does not exist as a human being. That's a ghost name, fake name. Mendy was here. Other organizations were here. I am the leader of the Niger Delta. And every leader you can think of, from Cross River to Edo State, they were here.
The Nigeria of our dream, the Nigeria we need, is the united, indissoluble, and cohesive Nigeria which guarantees equity, fairness, justice, and prosperity for its citizens. That is our focus on people, politics, and power. It is fresh, insightful, impactful. It's a must-watch. People, politics, and power on AIT. Join us to build bridges of unity.
Thank you so much for remaining with us. This program remains People's Power on Politics, and we're discussing Nigeria, how to get Nigeria one, united, indivisible Nigeria, how it can move forward. You saw there the acting president cautioning Nigerians on the need to stay on the path of unity by talking harmlessly to each other and not violently. And then elder statesman Edwin Clark, after a meeting with the acting president, on the earlier resolve or movement out of the discussions with the Niger Delta, and after that meeting, elder statesman Edwin Clark says all is well now. They are ready to continue. Now let me come to Charly-Boy, Charles Oputa. The acting president, is he managing the situation well? He cautioned against hate speech. He's been meeting with a lot of people. Is he managing the situation well?
Because my mumu don't do. Because I can see clearly what's happening. My take on that one and my feelings are that the powers, that cabal that we keep referring to, he cannot manage himself. He seems like a weak vice president, if you ask me. And
he's not a vice president anymore, he's acting president.
Acting president,
yes.
Whatever. He seems like a very weak one. Yeah? And he should be careful before he becomes part of that cabal, part of the people who is our problem, who is our enemy. You are the acting president. Bloody get up and do something now. Change the equation. I can't feel him. We can't feel him. So is either he's cowed by this cabal who tells him what to do, and he shouldn't just sit there and do nothing. If he can't rescue us, he should honorably resign. That's what I say.
That's the acting president.
Yes, the acting president. Because he's not in charge. With the way I'm looking at it, that man is not in charge.
But I don't know, so many people they will disagree, say that the acting president has been quite forthcoming, he's been running around, holding meetings, and that he's been doing very well.
Yes, the acting president has been very successful in providing fraudulent optics. But if you go with what Charles said, I agree with him. The acting president seems to be part of a criminal conspiracy.
Bam. Bam.
Now, when you take it to that level, we've taken it to that level. Yeah, when you take it to that level, you are probably
let's go there.
You are probably showing a less understanding of the intricacies of the office of the act of the president. What? As the president. I'm coming. So I will explain, sir. I will explain, Charly-Boy. Now, you have a man who is sick in London, who is president, who has vacated office for his president, for his vice president, who he personally chose to come and serve, because the selection of the vice president to run with the person rests with the candidate in order our law. Now this man is sick. Do you really expect the acting president to come and begin to behave, upturn the apple cart and begin to suggest that he is not respectful, in quote, to those who...
Is that why he cannot give the minister's portfolio? The ones is it why? Tell me. Is that why, according to them, the thing that happened at Ozobolo, and we're having the sick president, disturbing the sick president, and he couldn't do anything. He couldn't bloody get himself there. Is that why? And you tell me he's doing his work? No. Maybe he's part of our problem too.
How do you respond to that? That he needs to be very careful in his office?
Under Section 516 of the Criminal Act, the acting president is part of the conspiracy that has now, in his behavior, has gone ahead to undermine both the spirit and the words of the Constitution. See, he is not President Buhari's son. No, he is a vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He does actually represent us. We voted for a ticket, him and President Buhari. And we voted when we saw that their ticket had qualified people, a president that if he's not there, who we saw could act as president. That's how we voted. But now, the president is not there, but the man we thought we voted for that could act as president is not acting as president, but no, staying behind and allowing a cabal to coordinate him.
Because we have always addressed this cabal in its anonymous nature.
Yes.
We do not know. We just point to accusing figures. There's a cabal that exists. What is expected of the acting president?
He should be, as he swore to do, to act as the president of Nigeria when the president, Muhammadu Buhari in this case, is not there.
Is he not doing it?
And no, not act like an SA.
He is not. He's in this case.
Not act like an SA.
See, you can see the vacuum. You can see that the country has already gone bad. He also, don't forget, his party agreed to restructuring. Today, he says that those who are clamoring for restructuring, which was in the APC's manifesto, that they're looking for job. Is it President Babangida that's looking for job? Is it Professor Jerigan that's looking for job? Who is looking for? Is it Chief Adebanjo that's looking for job? Is it Senator Tinubu that's looking for job? Tinubu has been campaigning for restructuring. Is it Vice President Atiku Abubakar that's looking for job? How could he speak like that? People are genuinely agitating for a better Nigeria. Don't forget, when people agitated for independence, it was not in the Constitution. Some people told us. Okay. But our fathers got it. Today that people are now agitating for a better country through restructuring, the Vice President says that their democratic behavior that is allowed by the spirit and letters of our Nigerian Constitution, that those people who are acting in line with that are seeking for appointment. What an insult.
Now let's drive it home, because on the program what we focus on are solutions. How do we get out of these problems that everybody seems to agree? Because if you come 5-10 people together in Nigeria, everybody seems to have a solution. They tell you, no, we have to do it right. We have the most blessed land, peopled by over 180 million people. If you go to the United States of America, we have thousands and thousands of medical doctors of Nigeria origin who have run away. If you go out there into their universities and colleges, if you go to America, go to the UK, go to Canada, all of them, Nigerians are just everywhere. Some of them will tell you they can't come home until we better the lot of the environment, we change the system. Now that is where we are in. Now we have we have people who have been elected to run the affairs of Nigeria, and the agitations are still on. Charly-Boy, where do we indeed go from here?
You know, it's very funny, because most of our leaders don't have a conscience. Most of the masses have a conscience that has gone to sleep. Nothing can happen except, that is why my catchment area, the area I'm most interested in, is young people.
Are the young people?
Yeah. Because nothing is going to happen until young people understand that they are part of government, that they should start planting themselves and organizing themselves rather than agonizing about their situation. Let's start from there, because their future has been stolen, has been mortgaged times and times over. So if they don't wake up from this slumber, there's nothing for them. I keep telling them, if they don't know what they're doing and they can't come alive by the end of this year, now Sansan then go to chop from those beam. Because nobody's going to give you power. You can't sit down with this evil.
Vote or
yes. And that is why part of our sensitization is that they should go and register. They should go and collect their card. That's all I know. That is their power. They should, once they get on the what you call it, the internet, let them be focused. Let them not be butchering us with their useless grammar and showing you. That is not what we are here for. And I don't know what has happened to our celebrities. Why are they not talking? Why are they not talking?
They made a mistake. They endorsed a wrong government.
Okay, let's as we wrap up, as we get ready to wrap up on the program, let's look at some of the questions on ground. So many people I want, because Charly-Boy, you are one person who is respected by many Nigerians because of your involvement with the youths, young people. You also should also be worried that there are ultimatums, quick notices, don't break up, don't by October 1 get out, and all those things that are going on. When you
that is why you have the Biafra now.
Yes, we also have the IPOB who
Yes.
says we want. What are your thoughts generally on all
about
this? All of them put together?
Well, that is why the catch phase our mumu don't do. Because this is the game of the cabal, to keep us at each other's throat. Yes. When we're about to figure it out, is either they bring the issue of religion or ethnicity. My best friends, for crying out loud, are not Anase and Yoruba people. Nobody can make me hate that tribe. No, they are not my problem. The problem are the people fanning these things, fanning these hate messages.
Getting all our heads together.
Yes, but like I keep saying, you only know that, okay, you want to fight. Where that fight will end or how it will end, you don't know. Because, I don't know whether I should say this. I've been privileged to talk to the so-called Yerima. Yeah? I thought we would have a meeting yesterday on this subject.
Quick notice.
Yes, to say, my brother. And even the person I was talking to made me understand that all this, he used the word game, na game.
Okay.
Which kind of game? Because some people are not taking it as a game. Some people are determined to take it to the next level. How did Boko Haram start? How did Niger Delta start? It's by this gaming. Make they do game. Playing with people's life.
So you believe that those, the Arewa youth, the IPOP people...
Oh, they just did that so they think they are countering IPOD.
That's what it was organized to douse the agitations for restructuring. But it's a wrong way to organize it. You see, the agitations, the IPOB thing, the Biafra movement, is actually a metaphor for restructuring. Because of President Buhari's employment, or rather the cabal's employment of nepotism as policy for government, that's why most people say, look, we don't want this. Let us go back to our regions and do. Don't forget.
So it's actually a push for restructuring.
Yes, that's what it is. It is a push for restructuring. That's why you've seen they've now convinced the vice president to say that those who are asking for restructuring
need some job.
Are looking for appointment. Do you understand that? What we want is a better country. The use of nepotism as policy is at the heart. President Buhari created IPOB. President Buhari's problem also created... President Buhari, yes, he is in charge of both Biafra movement and also is in charge of the Arewa something. It is his policies. Don't forget, the country has always had this crazy agitations. Obasanjo managed it. Yaradua flew the boys in. You know, you need to massage a belligerent wife. That's the way it works. But you come and say, no, not 7%, 5%. The people who contribute to the federation account actually see you don't put them in anything. Who would stay and allow you to continue? No.
So now let's quickly, in the next 5 minutes, look at the way forward. Let me begin from Ononojo. What's the way forward?
The way forward is, I see what I saw in the 50s today, when our fathers were agitating for independence. The same people in Nigeria who said no to independence are the same people who are saying no to restructuring. How did it work? When you saw all the critical stakeholders align themselves, only 10 states contribute to the federation account. Those 10 states are demanding for restructuring. We have, as area father will call it, mumu, game of monkey they walk, baboon they chop. We don't want that.
But Charly-Boy, there's also, if you said, and I agree with you, that many Nigerians will pick their friends, in fact, more or quickly from even outside of their area than the north, the west, than even in their.
Do you know how we are so
now there's somebody who says, look, are we going to be talking about restructuring? Go Abdullahi flew the kite and said, look, we have to also think of the development of the north. You don't just say we want to restructure because we want to take away all the things.
Development of the north. Who is holding them now?
God bless you.
For since independence, haven't they been the one that have ruled the most? Why have they impoverished their people?
Exactly.
Why is there so much poverty in the north? Who is holding them now? Maybe they have the government. What have they done for all those years for their people? Yes. Do you know the largest number of people calling us the Mumu Don't Do movement? They are northern youths, followed by Nigerians in the diaspora. Why? Why is there so much, all these emergeries in the north? So much poverty, so much illiteracy. Why?
Should we not begin to find a way to assist them out of it?
Our government tried to reform the elementary and give the northern youth access to education. Who are the people who stopped it? There is a gang of people who are afraid that should the northerners gain access to education, they will be the middle class. Those people.
So it is not the ordinary person in the north we are talking about. It's not the ordinary northerner we are talking about here. They are also at the receiving end of the band.
Yes.
The north is the worst hit. The north holds the poorest people on earth. Northern Nigeria is home to the highest concentration of children without access to education. Who is making it possible? When the Sardauna introduced the nationalization policy, who killed it? That policy was simply to rush people to school. How come today 79% of educated Nigerians are from the south and only 19% from the north? Have you asked yourself why? There are people in the north who do not want a lot of people in the north to gain access to education because they know if they do, they will be the middle class and challenge.
All right, you were going to say something.
Yes. About 5 weeks or 6 weeks ago, before we now started our northern tour to open various chapters, we just came back from Makurdi. We invited those northern youths who have been calling us. Come, let us sit down.
And articulate something.
Yes. Before we start coming to inaugurate your chapters in your state. My brother, what they were telling us, the bondage and the slavery, it brought tears to my eyes. I have not been around the north that much, but the kind of poverty that they talked about, the kind of slavery that is holding them down, is sad. So it is clear to me that it's just a handful of people who are manipulating all of this.
How will the restructuring help them?
Oh, it will help them instantly by allowing them to take their own fate into their own hands.
Precise. And that's what they don't want.
That is what those people don't want. Restructuring would actually help the north. It will also allow the middle belt to control its own resources. Can't you see? There are people now who want to import people from Mali, from Sudan, from Senegal to come and steal ancestral lands in the middle belt. Ask yourself.
That's a wild allegation anyway.
Well, but that is the truth. Those who were killed in Gembu are not Nigerians. They were people who came from Mali. You have had news of people about to be imported to come to the middle belt to stop the anti-grazing bills.
a lot of fake news are all over the place anyway, because a lot of things are manipulated in the media and on the social media. So when you get to see them, you get to
the result is that we have the highest concentration of poor people in Africa.
Well, that is correct. We have about 10 million young people on the streets.
You remember what Emir Sanusi said? Emir Sanusi said, convert the mosques to school. What happened? They attacked him.
Let's wrap up with your our Mumu Don't Do campaign. You have been stopped in Abuja. I mean, today you were tear gassed. The dogs were unleashed on you, and you had a black eye for it. And your people, in fact, at some point, we were told that 2 of your people were rushed out to the clinic so that they don't, the guy have a minimal effect of what happened. Where are you taking it from here? Are you giving it up?
I'm so emboldened. I'm so emboldened, and part of it is the people, the young youths that I see. I've said it times without number, that the salvation of the country lies in the hands of his exceptional youth.
Are they well mobilized? Are Nigerians mobilized? Do they even know what is happening?
Yes. That is why our sensitization will have to keep going on. That is why I'm just saying to young people out there, please do something noble with this tool we have. It's our weapon, our phones, our social media. Let us organize ourselves properly on our social media. Now, this call for young people to wake up, not everybody will receive the message. In the Bible, it says, many are called, few are chosen. But I can tell you, just like there are 50 people, the cabal, they know they're more than 50, holding Nigeria to ransom. I say that 20 passionate youths of this country, exceptional youths, make it 19. Because I don't carry myself, I've donated myself to this cause. After all, the people who are dead, I'm not better than them. I've done everything I can do in life. So
and you're not a baby anymore.
I'm not a baby.
Even they call you Charly-Boy.
You know, so.
I come to think of it, how old are you?
I'm 66.
66. So by every definition, you belong to the
I have 14 grandchildren. I have 9 children, 14 grandchildren. I'm about to become a great-grandfather. Waiting I they look for than for a peaceful environment where my kids too, because most of my kids are abroad. You see that? Why should they be abroad if the country was, the environment was okay? Why should they be abroad?
Okay, we just have to wrap it up here. Maybe let me just take the last one from.
But please, police, will they come out tomorrow again? I beg, I no be una enemy. No be me they cause una problem. I take God beg una. Make una know they treat us like slaves. Because now the same market we they go, now una they go. Now the same problem we get, now una get. Don't treat us like criminals, because we're not criminals. If una like, make una shoot tomorrow. But from here, we're going to go to the police headquarters. I'm going to go see the IG to complain about the boys. Because what they did today is bad. I used to think that the police is my friend.
They are your friend.
They are still my friend after today?
They are your friend.
Oh, I will go and check.
Your friend.
And bail is free.
I will go and check.
Charly-Boy there and Mr. Charles Okuta, by every definition, is an elder statesman, because there are those who are 60 years and we say they are elder statesmen, but he's 66 and they say Charly-Boy, you wouldn't believe the gift of the nature that he has, that he still stays very strong, like the Charly-Boy that was around 40, 30 years ago. And he's joined by Kachi Ononuju, and he's a politician, an economist, and one who has also been very passionate about the development in Nigeria. I must thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
And that's how we're wrapping it up on the People's Politics on Power. And Kiri Agbosurem is my name. If you enjoyed today's episode, please join us in another 24 hours for another edition of the program. Please stay away from trouble and continue to stay tuned to Africa Independent Television. Thanks for staying with us.
Turning Nigeria's ethnic and religious diversity